Change your thoughts so quickly?
Why do you have to insult me? Why do you have to do that?
Because, George, you're an asshole. You won't listen to anybody.
How am I an asshole when I'm trying to defend my property? How am I an asshole when I'm trying to fight these people? How is that an asshole? How is that being an asshole? I came to you back in March of 2017. Okay? I came to you, and what I came to you is to be able to fight. This was serious. Okay? It's just as serious as what you had to deal with when you thought was serious about these charges, that were brought on you. And you wanted to fight and make it, and fight this situation, and you went ahead and sued the governor and the lieutenant governor or the attorney general.
Won that.
Okay, but you sued the governor because you thought it was a serious situation, the sodomy charges or whatnot, or making the sodomy legal or whatever, which is still on the books. It's still on the books where you can't do that. But whatever the case might be, you told me that basically that you had the same conversation with your alleged person you had worked for, David Morgan. That's the guy you had worked for.
Just shows
you felt serious about that. Okay, so you understand that this is serious as far as I'm concerned. To protect my property, to protect my intellectual property, to protect my name, my legal name and my dad's name. Intellectual property, the copyright situation, and defamation. So, this is what we did. Okay? And I am just as serious about this as you were about that. The same conviction, the same feeling to want to fight the situation. So you can't sit here and call me an asshole because I paid you, I compensated you.
Joel.
It's just baffling to me how, to play devil's advocate, how I'm an asshole.
Because, George, you won't listen to anyone.
Why don't you elaborate with that comment you just said? I don't listen to anybody.
You don't listen?
I listen to you about YouTube. I should have kept them on the damn thing. I listened to you about YouTube. I should have kept them on.
Because they sued you for attorney's fees and took every little dime that Ding Dong Dash gives you.
I don't work for DoorDash, so get that out of your pipe.
You do too.
I do not work for DoorDash.
You do, George.
Well, you can think that. Think that all you want.
You know it and I know it.
Okay, you don't know anything. All you know is what someone said. All you know is what someone erroneously said something. I can say I saw the ghost of Adolf Hitler. But is it true? I saw Hitler and shook hands with him. But is that fucking true? No, it's not. So anybody can say anything. Where's the proof? Where's the proof?
Markland says to tell you that all he does is laugh at you and that he enjoys it.
Well, you tell him that he can laugh, and you tell him when he actually loses and when it comes to the fact that he'll be owing me money, then I want him to laugh heartily. I want him to laugh really rich and hearty. I want him to laugh really, really good when he has to pay me for monetary and punitive damages. Then I want to hear him laughing then. Tell him I said so. I want to hear his laughter then.
He says to tell you that the goons share several Facebook and YouTube accounts just to throw you off. And they do. They have tons of them. Like, all your videos are still up. All of their videos are still up. They really do. They have 5 or 6 different things that I've seen with everything on it. They're managed by different people. And every time you knock one down, they just make another spare. Like, the goons can see it. We can see it all. You just can't.
Well, no, because if a bear shits in the forest, did he really shit in the forest? They can put it private all they want.
They're not private.
The minute they put it public,
they're all public.
And that's when. Well, okay. Well, then they're not titled to Showtime.
No,
they're public. They're not. Well, then that. So that it doesn't matter. Again, if a bear shits in the forest, did he really shit in the forest? So you really can't. I mean, did it really happen?
But
that's the whole.
they're really there. I've seen them. I watched the one today where it was when I was in the gym. I took a shit, and I was watching this video where you were eating a bunch of Twinkies and dancing around and put a shotgun in your mouth until Kevin called.
That's not me. That's Brandon Hardesty doing it. And Brandon Hardesty, who did the documentary, he was going to remove that, and he did. That Leighton Harmon character took it and put it up. And that was not me. That was a parody.
He
so
said
that was a parody.
He said to tell you that I own that ransacked apartment building in North Hollywood.
I doubt that seriously. I seriously doubt that because what I found out, he has a landlord who he answers to. So he doesn't own shit. He has a landlord. That he an old lady that runs that apartment complex. Tell him I said so. That I know for a fact. He's a liar. Tell him I said so.
How come you won't ever talk to these people?
What kind of question is that?
I mean, you tell me to tell him I said this and tell him I said that, but you won't ever just call and talk to him.
Because I don't want to kill brain cells. How about that? I don't want to kill my brain cells talking to these people.
He says,
that's all you're doing. I could sit here and talk to, Avos. A vase of whole flowers, this old vase, that I've got in the house here. He
says you are a stupid fat slob. The address that you have served him at is just a fucking place where he gets his mail. George is a fat, dumb bitch.
Well, you tell him that as far as the marshals are concerned, that's where he lives. And the federal marshals who came and served his ass last year caught him walking out of his car. So he is a liar because the marshals got him there and served his ass.
He says he just happened to be there that day and it just worked out.
It's very convenient, right? It's like a magical serum or.
How did you feel when you read that their motion? How did you feel? Did you actually read their motion?
I saw enough of it. I've got it right here in my car right now. I looked at it. I got the copy. I'm going to go through every bit of it, and I'm going to go through it, and I'm going to challenge every bit of it. Motion to strike for what you had mentioned, and motion to strike for what was said. And the conjecture of what was said. All I need is case law, and I'm working on that.
What he did was refer to you by your initials. That's it.
Other erroneous shit. And bringing up Kristen in there. Kristen has nothing to do with this case. And bringing her name up doesn't, it's not going to mount to anything. And so what's the purpose of that? Well, what I'm thinking is.
He says that his assistant called when the document arrived.
What's that?
Gifts for George.
I didn't hear what you said.
I bought you 2 presents today when I went shopping, and they're for you tomorrow. And my buddy walked up here and asked me what they were for. They're gifts for you.
What is it?
You'll find out tomorrow.
Don't insult me, man.
Also, I used to perform stand-up comedy back in the day. That's what he said.
You tell him eating a bowl of cereal in a for like a 10-second clip of him eating cereal, stalking a woman out of a window, is not much to hold your hat on. And Bruce Willis probably doesn't even know he exists. Tell him I said so.
Stalking a woman out of a window.
10-second thing, and Bruce Willis probably doesn't even know that he exists.
Bruce Willis is old.
And what's his fascination with the character Muncie, that guy on Lost in Space? What is his fascination with that kid on Lost in Space? Ask him that. James Muncie or Munfer or whatever his name is. That's what I want to know. I want to know what's his fascination with that little kid on Lost in Space.
He had lines in that movie.
Bullshit.
He's there on DVD.
He's sitting there eating a bowl of cereal, watching a woman walk out of a window. Are you kidding me? What lines did he have? He probably had lines up his nose, probably.
See, this is what makes you gutless and putrid. You won't actually have a conversation with them.
Why would I want to waste my time having a conversation with them when I know that basically what they have to say is total shit, total utter shit? It doesn't hold a candle, doesn't hold water.
You hold a lot of water.
All I gotta say to you is mirror. Get a mirror and take a lookie. Take a look.
All right, I'll make you a deal. I will mirror our weight if we can mirror our bank accounts. One of the 2 panels is George Jarrett has a negative bank account.
Well, I've already knocked that damn channel down and it popped back up again, so I'm going to question why I'm going to knock that damn channel down again.
Oh, Marty has the email from Real Home that Mr. Homeroom sent to you.
Excuse me?
He says to tell you that he was standing for Billy Mummy in a commercial.
He did what?
Tell him I would stand in for Billy Mummy in a commercial.
Okay. Well, I said, yeah, I mean, it's kind of odd and creepy that he has some kind of affiliation or just, that's all, just a picture of that guy. It's almost like he wants to make love to that guy or something.
He met him in high school.
Whatever. So, how old is he? So, just for shits and giggles. I mean, he's pushing 60. So he can talk about me pushing 50. That man is pushing 60. So, what's up with that?
Yeah, he's
talking about me being old when that man is 10 years older than me.
Yeah, but at least he has his dignity.
That man is 10 years older than me, so he has no room to talk. Dignity my asshole. Dignity my fucking asshole.
Dick me in my asshole. That's right, George.
I said dignity up my asshole. He has no dignity.
Dick me up my asshole. So you're finally accepting your sexuality.
All right, man.
He wants to know if you like his blast channel.
You tell him I want to hear his laughter when he's going to be owing me monetary and punitive damages. I want to hear his laughter then. That's all you tell him. Son of a bitch. All right, I'm not dialoguing. I don't need to. I want to know who the person was that came by. That's what I need to know. So we got a guy named.
It was. I keep telling you who Marty is. I will tell you this though. Marty's address is an airport.
Marty's address is an airport.
Mm-hmm.
What are you talking about?
The address that Marty gave me today is an airport in Sweden.
I thought you had, wait, you see, you contradict yourself. You said that you're not talking to him, and now you're just saying that you just spoke to him today.
You asked me his address, and I asked him what it was, and he responded. And I told you exactly what it was.
So he gave you a bogus address?
Yes. How much money do you really think you'll ever get from me, Will says.
Well, I'm going to get something. I'm shooting high. Or shoot really high. But I'm going to get something from him. That's to say if he has any money or a pot to piss in.
He has spent over $3,000 so far. Yeah, how much have you spent on this shit? I mean, you said you paid me close to $2,000. I don't remember.
A pot to piss. I'm gonna be taking something from him. And that's if he has any freaking money. But if he doesn't have any money, if he works, he will be garnished. He will be garnished.
Garnishee, you idiot, is the person that pays the check to the employee, you dumbass.
No, a garnishment. He will be garnished. If he works for somebody, he'll be garnished.
A garnishee. The word is pronounced garnishment.
It will be the person that is. It will be garnished. It will be garnished. He'll be garnished. His payroll, his money will come out. His money will be diverted. What money he has in a bank, if he has a bank account, will be diverted into my bank account. That's all he needs to know. Because a federal judge will eventually, if not this one, the one upstairs will make sure that that's my goal.
He says that he has shown your show to a few producers and one talent agent, and they say, "Are you serious? This is the stupidest shit we've ever seen."
His stuff, his public access show was stupid as shit. His public access show was stupid as shit. That guy has no fucking talent whatsoever. His claim to fame is to get up there and eat a bowl of cereal and watch a woman out of a window. That's his only claim to fame. And and Scrubs, which that was, granted that was a TV show, but that Scrubs non-speaking role, like 10 seconds of that shit. 10 seconds of eating a bowl of cereal and not saying anything. No. That he's had zero speaking roles altogether. So that right there solidifies what he's about. Now Kevin's had more than he's had. And I've had commercials that I do.
Have you and Kevin had gay sex?
Excuse me?
Have you and Kevin ever seen each other's penises?
No. The answer to that is no. Have you and Henry seen each other's penises?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I don't know. Not really sure. Not really sure if Henry knows about that.
Tell him.
Yeah.
Tell Henry he can sit on my face.
Yeah, I'm sure Henry's got more to do than that.
Oh, motherfucker ain't got nothing to do. The only clients he's got are in his head.
Well, he's been practicing law. I mean, he's a licensed lawyer.
And I make more money than he does.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I don't really think much of the guy, but he is a licensed lawyer.
He's lost everything that he's ever bought to me. Everything. He's never beaten me and never will. That shows you what the GG legal team is all about. See, you could be nice and behave and listen to me and let me help you. But instead, you want to be an arrogant, robust, and
because you are. Listen to me. You gave out my telephone number. You mentioned my girl's name.
Jamie
died. You mentioned her name. No, I don't. Okay, whatever. You mentioned her name.
Jamie.
Okay. Santa Claus.
Heroin needles.
Whatever the case might be, you've done it too.
I've never done heroin in my life.
You've done heroin. You told me you'd have.
I snort cocaine, you dumb motherfucker.
Well, whatever you've done shit.
I love cocaine. I bet you I can get Kristen to suck my dick for an 8-ball.
You're vile, man. Really. I mean, goddamn, man, you're vile. Really, seriously, man.
I throw it on the table.
You wanted to jump her bones that fucking night. You had no decorum whatsoever. You wanted to jump her bones right then and there. You were like, yeah, I've been wanting to fuck you so long. I've been wanting to fuck you so long. You were weeble, you were wobbling back and forth. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
What does that tell you, George?
What does that tell me? It tells me that you were just out of fucking control. Is what it tells me. You're just out of fucking control.
In my rate frame of mind, George, when I see her green teeth, I mean, I realize that's the apple of your eye, a woman with green teeth.
The woman does not have green teeth.
She does.
She does not have green teeth. She's an attractive woman. Very attractive woman.
She's an ugly whore with a bunch of nigglets. I mean, she's an ugly whore with a bunch of little children that have black fathers.
She doesn't have a black father. Your wife has got a black kid.
I don't like that either.
Your wife's got a black kid, so so really can't, she does not have any black children. All three of her kids are Caucasian.
They're bastard children. She's never been married.
No, she's living with the person she's married to.
All right, show me. Yeah, they're all living in Bo's trailer on Hall Street.
That's what you say, and
we know
I'm
that.
not going to say, or I'm not going. I think she's moving out here in the West End. I believe. No,
she's not. With what money? He makes $2 over minimum wage, and she's unemployed.
He is.
Food stamp.
This guy works. I don't know what I think he does major construction.
Yeah.
Construction work.
He's a laborer, George.
But they build houses, I believe. I'm not.
Yeah. He's the type of person that gets the wood out of the truck.
I think he lays bricks, if I'm not mistaken.
He's the type of person that brings the brick to the bricklayer.
How do you know this?
Because, George, I know it all.
Well, this man obviously is the provider, and he's the one that, he works. They work together. I think he works with his brother, and they build houses, if I'm not mistaken.
How much longer you will go to Ding Dong Ditch?
What are you talking about? To talk English.
That company you work for, Ding Dong Ditch.
You think you know, but like as I just said, you could sit there and say that I work for some place. As far as you know, as I told you, I'm going to be taking an exam here in a couple of weeks, and I'm going to get my life insurance license.
George, you can't sell anything with dirty clothes and nasty teeth and fingernails.
Let me tell you something. I do what I do. I've been selling stuff. I've sold advertising. I've sold all kinds of stuff. I have multi-talented. I've done more different hats. I've sold cars. I've sold advertising. I've sold advertising on a radio station. I used to DJ on a radio station. I've bartended. I've waited tables. I'm a delivery driver. I have worked for a courier service. I own my own taxi. I work for Uber. I've done a lot of stuff.
George,
a lot of different hats. I've worn a lot of different hats.
AM 1540 doesn't count, George.
What's that?
AM 1540 that no one ever listens to doesn't count. Literally, you're casting a signal.
Okay, well, when you were in single digits, I was a DJ for a radio station called Mix 106 that played the 90s music back in 92, 91, 92. I was working at an FM radio station. Under
remember that
under Mix 106 before it was the Buzz, and I was under George Valentine. George Valentine was my air name.
Oh, George Valentine, huh?
That's correct.
I'm sure the goons will love that.
Well, I don't give a fuck what they love. I don't give a fuck what they love. What they need to do is get a fucking life. Get a fucking life and get a fucking job and get out there and be productive.
Why are you so against the goons?
You're high, man.
Will is a generally nice guy. I enjoy his company.
You're high. You really are.
I mean, I had to break my friendship with Marty over you just because I didn't want you to be embarrassed in public anymore.
What are you talking about? What you break? Okay, let's pump the brakes. What actually did you do?
He and I got into a big discussion because I didn't want him to mock you in that toothless whore.
Well, you don't like her. You don't like her. You've already made that clear. I mean, you've already.
It's not that I like her, George. She's just. There was a poll the other day of who thought who was more uneducated and insufferable. You got 2 likes and she got 22. She's just stupid, and you believe that she has these grandiose designed answers that are going to get you from A to B, and you're going to win. You're going to lose.
Okay, well, then why should I get you back on if you think I'm going to lose? That's like going to an attorney, or that's going to a lawyer that thinks you committed a crime, and yet you're going to have that person represent you.
Do you know what an amicus brief is, George?
I've heard the term. But I will say no, I don't.
The Latin is amicus curiae. It means friend of the court. If I really wanted to harm you, George, I would have filed an amicus brief in court.
And how would you be able, under what pretense would you be able to do that I mean, seriously. I mean, I'm not suing. First of all, I'm not suing you.
Interested party is allowed to file an amicus brief. And I've decided all the case law in the world.
What party is this?
It's a friend of the court. Just any interested party can file one.
I'm not suing you, so you cannot. I mean, you have nothing. I mean, unless you're suing me, but you really can't sue me for anything now, can you?
I don't have to sue, George. I could just file it because I wanted to.
I've never heard of that before. That doesn't make any sense.
Well, Google it. Amicus curiae. If I really wanted to make you lose, George, you would have lost by now. But I haven't done that, have I?
All right. What I'm saying is this, that you've already, it's like going to a lawyer or going to an attorney or going to a legal representative that thinks you committed a crime. I'm giving you a different for instance.
You will lose without my help.
Then, but you go to that person to be there, but then that person believes that you're going to lose or you're guilty or whatever. So this is what I don't understand. You believe that I'm going to lose, so I'm not understanding.
You are destined to, without my help, you will lose.
Well,
you can't find a constitutional lawyer that'll listen to this stupid shit. You just can't. Meaning, with me, you're fucked. If I were...
I'm not... Look. I'm not saying one way or the other. I have the facts, whether it be Santa Claus or Jesus himself. Santa Claus or Jesus Christ himself. I have the facts there. So, it baffles me, and I think you can concur with this. It baffles me that this judge threw out the strongest point of the case, threw out the strongest thing that I had in this case. That is baffling to me. And I think you concur with that. So, I don't know. In that show,
you kissing my ass.
What the judge did. I questioned what the judge did, but I never uttered that he was a dirty judge. I never said he was a dirty judge. I said use the word bias because, as I said, you got to be biased or whatever. It didn't make any fucking sense to me.
You know what's really dirty? Kristen's crotch.
Okay, man. You seriously, just check yourself. I don't want to hear that.
Any woman that gives you the slightest inclination that they'll let you hit that nasty ratchet twat you love.
Kristen and I are not having sex.
Because she won't.
A man and a woman can be friends without being sexual.
Because she won't. And you probably buy her cigarettes.
First of all, Kristen and I are friends. A man and a woman can be friends without having sexual intercourse. You don't think so?
No,
it can be done.
She won't fuck you.
Okay, she won't fuck me. I've had more pussy than you and Marty put together. Now that I can tell you. I've had more pussy than you and Marty and Will put together. All three.
That's because you paid for it. Duh.
But if I'm so destitute and I have no money, how am I paying for it?
Well, because you took $206,000 loan out on your parents' home and on hold.
See, that goes to show you how much you know. I didn't take that much out. It was less than that. But that's neither here or there. You have the figures. The figures you're bringing up are, it's less than that. A whole lot less than that. There was mistakes that were made. We're talking about now. No. Okay. We're talking about now. If I'm paying prostitutes, how am I paying prostitutes if I'm broke and desperate?
God, you haven't had pussy in months. Kristen won't a hand jigger.
How do you know what I have? Are you there watching me what I'm doing? Are you there looking at what I'm doing? You don't know who I've been with.
Well, tell me.
You don't know what woman I've been with. Now, do you?
Jamie was the last one.
You don't know that.
I do know that, George, and so do you.
You don't know that.
I don't know that. George, you know I'm right.
You don't know that.
Tell me I'm wrong.
Can you prove it?
Tell me I'm wrong.
Can you prove it?
Tell me I'm wrong.
You're not right. I know that.
Tell me I'm wrong.
You're wrong.
No, George.
You're wrong.
The last person who had sex with you that you did not directly pay cash for the transaction was Jamie.
You don't know that.
I do.
You don't.
I do.
Well, you think you do.
All right, listen, I've got a big day in the morning.
Well, I'm just saying, you don't know that. Can you prove it?
Are you going to be here at 5 on the dot?
Yeah, I will be there, man. But just check yourself, man. Just check yourself. Don't disrespect me.
All right, I won't call her a whore. I'll call her up.
Just don't even call her at all. If you don't like her, that's fine. That's your prerogative. You're entitled. Listen. You're entitled not to like her. That's your prerogative.
I'll call her an hourly worker.
But it doesn't. Look. Just don't mention it to me. I don't. I'm not. It's like someone attacking your ex-wife.
Hold on.
You're not going to like that. You're not going to like that, are you? No.
I just got a text from Will. He said, if you're still on the phone with the fat, blubbering idiot, tell him that he hopes Kristen shoots up heroin and kills herself like the rest of them do.
You tell him that some drunken old man in his 60s doesn't even know what the hell he's talking about. He is some drunk old man that probably sits there and stays on the internet 24/7 cyber stalking people. He needs to kind of check himself because what he's doing, he has no life on a Friday night. What the hell is he doing on a Friday night sitting on the internet there? Why is he not getting pussy? He probably hasn't had pussy since pussy's had him. You tell him I said so.
You get no pussy.
Yeah, he probably hasn't had pussy since pussy conceived him. What is he doing on a Friday night? What is he doing on a Friday night on the internet? Just cyber stalking on the internet. Is there any maybe productive things he can be doing on a Friday night?
Well, he's a retired actor.
Yeah, he's retired. Yeah, retired. I got that. He's an actor, right? Yeah, just he's an extra. Read all about it. That's all he is. The fucking extra.
Well, George, in his defense, I mean, it's farther than you've ever gotten.
Let me tell you something. I do commercials here in Richmond. I've done 12 commercials.
They denied that commercial and said it was a mistake.
I know. That lady paid me $150 to do that damn commercial in 2004. I'll call her up and I will ask her what the hell she's on. That lady, Allison Miller, who is now she's a whore. That woman's a fucking whore. Allison Miller, she's a fucking whore. But that's neither here or there. She paid me and my production people to come there that afternoon on a Saturday afternoon and paid me $150 to put that on Blab TV. Back in the day, Michael Mortshire, you know who that is, don't you? Who is an attorney that used to own Blab TV. It was a commercial-based TV channel for public access shows. Okay? And at the time, I had bought a lot of airtime. And I had to get commercials, and I had to get commercials to have airtime. So the insurance doctor, Potter's Pub, this pub is no longer in business, but it used to be Potter's Pub, a pawn shop, Taboo Lingerie. So she can sit there and say whatever she did. She paid me $150 to do that commercial of Kevin in the GIMP outfit where I was, talking about rainy day specials. That's in 2004. So let's get it straight.
Michael Mortshire has old timers.
Michael Mortshire owned Blab TV. He was the one that I paid for my airtime back in the day. I paid airtime on that channel, not the public access channel, but back in the day when they had public access and where you made money off it. I did make money off my show because I had advertisers such as Taboo Lingerie, the insurance doctor, which they still air. By the way, if you've got a TV set, they still air my commercial on TV.
You
didn't know that. The insurance doctor.
I'd love to see that.
Well, listen to NBC, Channel 12. Okay?
George, I ain't never seen your fucking commercial.
Well, there you go.
Taboo Lingerie, where George will let you tickle his asshole for $50.
Well, did you actually see the commercial?
I've seen the commercial.
Okay.
But never on.
It was well done.
Just on, yeah, I've seen it. You weren't as fat and nasty back then.
Excuse me?
You were not as fat and nasty back then.
Mirror. Take a mirror and look at your body, and then come talk to me.
You want to see my dick? I'll take a picture and send it to you right now.
No, no comprende. I don't, no. Me don't hung that way. Me don't swing that way. No. That's not, no comprende.
You want me to message you a picture of this wee right here?
I would rather have a ton of breaks follow me.
He says to tell you that he has to be at home tonight because he's leaving for Hawaii for 2 weeks in the morning. You stupid fat fuck.
I say bullshit. Bullshit.
He's been telling me he's going for a while.
The only place that he probably needs to go to is fucking Uranus. He needs to go to Uranus and spend a whole fucking, spend his life in there. Where he needs to go. In Uranus.
He says,
excuse me?
He says, if you know a PI, he's terrified. Oh, God.
Listen, I'm not some rickety old man in his 60s with a claim to fame on Unsolved Mysteries where he's, when he did the film. Or he had Unsolved Mysteries where he was working behind a camera. Okay, I had a man that used to do my camera work that had more production skills than he ever could dream of having. And that that show, that Insomnia All Night that he used to do, that was shit. That was crap. Insomnia All Night, public access show, crap. And he's got his buddy doing infomercials for Squeezers or whatever, the fucking juicer. Are you kidding me? Fucking bullshit. About the fucking juicer. You gotta be fucking kidding me. That guy has my dick, my penis has more talent than his whole existence.
How many times have you had a sexually transmitted disease?
I have no sexual transmitted disease. I'm perfectly in good health.
When's the last time you had a sexually transmitted disease?
I've never had one.
You're a liar.
What are you talking about?
I know you've had chlamydia.
And how do you know that? Where do you get your information from? The National Enquirer?
There's a medical record of you getting treated for chlamydia on the fan page.
I have never, ever had any health issues whatsoever.
Said tell you that he was 17 years old when he worked on that show.
17 years old working on what show?
Unsolved Mysteries.
He has... I would bet you anything that, being an extra doesn't account for much. At least I've been on camera and I do commercials, and you put a camera in front of my face, I will be able to do the commercial without any lines. Okay? I can remember lines too, but I can do a commercial and knock it out of the park without being coached. Unlike him being an extra, not having any speaking lines. I doubt seriously that, anything he's got, the proof of the pudding is that public access show he had back in the 90s. That public access show definitely puts you to sleep. Insomnia? No, more like nighty night.
He says to tell you to look outside.
I am outside. I'm outside right now.
He says to look outside.
I'm outside. I'm outside right now on my front porch.
Apparently they see you, but you don't see them.
Well, apparently, they can make up stories all they want. What am I wearing?
I don't know.
Okay. You tell him to go fuck himself, and you tell him when he grows some nuts and when he can actually do a production and have a speaking role or a commercial, then come talk to me.
All right, listen. Unlike you, I have to work tomorrow.
No, well, I know. Actually, I'm actually going to work during the day tomorrow. So yeah.
Doing what, George? Delivering fucking pizzas.
No, not delivering pizzas. Actually, I'm going to be taking other people to the raceway. How about that?
See, that's you go Uber all day tomorrow. In fact,
I told you I'd get you at 5, but I've got some other people I'm taking.
George, if you ain't here at 5 o'clock, I'm coming to 1307 Stony Brook Drive.
Actually, it's Stony. But anyway, whatever.
I worked at Universal Studios as an intern at age 15 in the summer.
Yeah, that and just tell him that I don't sit there stroking off to another man like he does.
Rub dongs. God, you've been saying the same.
I don't stroke it off to another man like he does. I don't sit there fixated on another man like he is.
You've been using the same worn out fucking lines for like 15 years. It's like you can't...
I'm not fixated on another man. I'm not sitting there fixated on another man every movement of what he's doing. I like pussy. Unlike him. I like pussy. I'm
gonna get a paintball gun and come tag your fucking house. That's what I want to do.
Well, I've got that recorded. Thank you very much. It's been recorded.
I want to get a paintball gun and come over and tag your fucking house.
Yeah, well, that's okay because I don't think that's a wise move.
I want to come over. I want to go over there and write Will Markland on the side of your house with a paintball gun.
Why don't you get a tattoo of Markland on your butt? How about that? A tattoo of Markland on your butt. You're so fascinated by Will Markland, or since you're so in love with Will Markland. I mean, why don't you? I don't know. Why don't you all do like a make-out session?
He says to tell you that he met several actors, producers, and directors that he still knows to this day.
Yeah, well, you tell him that whoop-de-doo. You tell him that I interviewed Susie Quattro, a rock and roll star that was on Happy Days and was who I interviewed in Miami Beach, Florida in 2008, and it had over 10,000 views. You tell him to go fuck himself.
Isn't Susan Quattro the one who pawned your wedding ring for meth?
No. This is a rock and roll lady. She was on Happy Days with Henry Winkler. You know who that is?
Yeah, he sells fucking. He does life insurance now he's replaced Alex Trebek.
Okay, well, him and back in the day. So she was on that show with the guy, that played what's that guy's name? I can't think of his name. He was with he's a producer. But whatever the case might be, that video had a lot of hits all over the world when I was interviewing Susie Quattro. So you tell him until he does something like that, till he does an interview or does a show like that I've been doing for 24 years, then come talk to me. Because what he does, he just shows his little face and doesn't have anything to say. He'll show his old, decrepit face with no speaking lines. Okay? I have commercials, I have an interview, and I also have a show. So what does he have?
But now the show is done from the nasty kitchen. What does Kevin think when he comes to your roach infested house?
There's no roaches in my house. Okay? There's no roaches in my house.
Have you seen the deed lately?
What about the deed?
The deed says Bank of New York Mellon.
Well, you know what? It's still my house. As long as I live in this house, it's still my house.
But how?
Mary Jane Girls were, as the Mary Jane Girls song, in my house, in my house.
My house. Oh, George is sleeping outside.
It's my house.
Southern nights.
Whatever. You're Southern. Give me a break, man. They can play that until they can stroke off to that song with me dancing. That's all they do is stroke off. I did that song as a spoof. When I did that song, I had it playing in my head. So I said, Kevin, I'm gonna open up the show where I'm, dancing to this song. Okay?
He says one time I was in the paint department talking to an old friend. I was showing him the behind the scene video that he made about you when 3 people walked in and started watching, and LOL, as they walked away, I noticed one of them was Ron Howard. Ron Howard saw the video that they made about you.
Ron Howard, yeah. Ron Howard was on Happy Days.
That's what he said. Ron Howard is seen. I had no idea he was gay until he started talking about his boyfriend.
What are you talking about?
The behind the music video they made about you.
Yeah, that right there is defamation.
No, it's not.
No, it is. It's defamation. It's by George Michael. They put my name in there. George Michael, who is a talented, was a very talented singer, but who was gay. So they take George Michael out and they put me in there. But I'm not.
What's defamation about it? You are gay.
No, you wish I was gay, but I'm not gay. You wish I was gay, but I'm not. So I'm sorry to disappoint. Sorry to disappoint you, but I'm not.
You are George Alexander Yerrick. Therefore,
that doesn't, and that's so damn lame. It's so fucking lame. I don't even use my middle name.
Why did they name you that?
Unlike you all, Alexander was a name that ran in the family. Alexander. So unlike, you all's logic, they weren't thinking about that. They were thinking about the name Alexander. They wanted me to have a middle name, a surname, a middle name, and Alexander was a name that was in the family. But my father wanted to name me George. But my father was named George, and his father was named George. Kind of like George Foreman. You know George Foreman?
Working on the set of Back to the Future 3 is where he met Marty, which is why he uses that name.
I thought he met Marty at a gay blade, or at a gay blade bar.
I don't know.
San Francisco. Anyway, whatever. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a shit.
He says to tell you that thank God you don't have children, because they too would be the most untalented fat slob children in the
world. Let me tell you something. Ask him if he has any kids. I doubt it, seriously. Does he have any kids?
One boy.
Yeah, well, I bet you that boy is fucking embarrassed when his name gets brought up in conversations. He probably has fucking, he's probably slow and probably just like him.
Why are you so uneducated? Like, how come you have no education?
I have education. I had broadcast communications and business administration. Okay? Broadcast communications and business administration at J. Sargent Reynolds. I took a year and a half.
He has 2 children, his wife is dead, and his kids are losers. That should cheer you up.
Yeah, well, he's a loser himself. I bet you he was a big disappointment to his family. A big disappointment.
Well, I need to go.
Because all you're going to stand there and to troll some other man that lives across the country or lives on the East Coast, trolling some man. That's pretty fucking pathetic. Pretty fucking pathetic.
I'm gonna come by tomorrow and take pictures of Stony Brook Drive.
Yeah, you can take pictures of your asshole. How about that? Take some pictures of your asshole and put it on the internet.
I'll mail them to your mother.
Yeah, well, you need to take it and put it in the mail and mail it to yourself.
He remarried.
About it.
He remarried, and his current wife has big tits.
He's a wino. That's probably what he is. A fucking wino. And how does he know Sean Brennan? Did him and Sean Brennan rub dongs together?
You know, you keep using these same old lines that they used to make you with.
Yeah, I want to know. Did him and Sean Brennan ever rub dongs together? Or ever go to like one of these, I don't know what you call them, glory holes together? Did they go to like a glory hole and rub their dicks together?
I wonder, you know what I think would be awesome? If you were like kidnapped and raped. Then you would know what it's like to be gay.
Well, is that what happened to you?
No, I took it willingly. I wanted it.
Well, that's unlike you. Like I said,
there's a new photo in the Gorgeous George show.
I like pussy, basically. Okay, a new photo.
Let's see here. Kate Bucket.
Yeah. Well, thanks to you making that shit up. Thanks to you for even making that shit up, That would have never been even said or mentioned. You're the one that brought that up. You're the one that brought that up to them.
He met Sean by filming a documentary on local theaters in 2006.
Yeah. You filmed a documentary, huh? Did they do a documentary called Shacked Up in a Sack? Shacking Up in a Sack?
Your humor is so bad.
Was that the documentary?
Your humor is...
Shacking Up in a Sack?
George.
Shacking Up in a Sack, pretty much?
George, I've spent an hour and 20 minutes with you. I love you very much. You are my favorite fat, untalented slob. And as soon as Mikey sees you again, he's going to walk up, give you a big hug, and tell you, fat, untalented slob.
Please don't. Please don't. No, I'm sorry. I like kids, but I for some reason, your kid is Lucifer. He's the devil.
He has more money in his bank account than you do in yours.
You know what? Yeah. Okay. And then so you know so much then, right? You're the encyclopedia, right?
I know
the encyclopedia that knows so much.
I know that you have about $80 to your name right now.
I don't know. You think you know what I have in my name? How do you know what I have to my name?
You have about $80.
How do you know that?
George, I know.
How do you know?
Because, George, the car insurance had to come out. The $269 for the van had to come out.
$269 for the van. How do you know what I paid $269? How do you know that?
That's the insurance. Excuse me.
Well, it wasn't $269. Where do you come up with that figure?
George, I know these things.
Yeah, it wasn't $269. You don't know that.
But I do know that you have about $80 to your name. And that's the only reason you called me back, because you still want that $75 to give to that stripper whore.
You have an imagination that runs wild. Like Kristen said, you have a wild imagination, don't you? You work upon speculation and conjecture. Conjecture and speculation, you assume things. But when you assume things, you make an ass out of you and me both. You know that, don't you? You make an ass out of you and me both when you do that.
You have less than $75 now in your bank.
How do you know that?
They have access to your bank.
Who has access to my bank?
Will Markham.
and how is that?
They have the account and routing numbers.
What is my account number and routing number?
I don't know, but they do.
If he knows it, then say what it is.
I don't know what it is, George, but they do.
Well, because that check that you've got, you see, you have that check as an avatar, and you gave it to them.
I have
that check was an avatar, and you gave it to them.
I have a lot of your checks.
Yeah, and they have that check as an avatar to one of those videos.
No, they don't.
That check is an avatar to one of those videos, so that's how they get my information. Well, guess what? I closed that account, so good luck.
Wood Forest
trying to get money out of there. I closed that account.
Wood Forest is gone now, huh? What are you, green?
No. I still have an account with Wood Forest, but I closed that account knowing what you were doing. Knowing what you were doing by showing that check on screen. I made sure that account was closed because of that.
But I didn't do it, George.
You took that picture. You had the check. You took the picture, you put it up there as an avatar. You avatar, and you gave it to Mark. You gave it to Marty. You gave it to Marty, and he put it up there as a screen, as an avatar picture to one of the videos. And don't say you didn't do that, because you did do that. So they can sit there and say that I've got a certain amount of money. I closed that account.
But you have less than $80 to your name.
Well, no, you'd be wrong.
No, I wouldn't, George.
Yes, you would be. You would be wrong.
Listen, I've got to lay down.
All right, well, you go. It's fine.
I need you to call me tomorrow at 1:00 to confirm, please.
I am telling you that I will pick you up and your boyfriend up, or your husband, or your whatever you got tomorrow at 5:00. Telling you that I will do that.
Mikey's looking forward to meeting you.
I don't do this. I'm not. What he's going to?
Yeah.
Oh my God. You tell your kid that he has to have that he needs to respect his elders.
That's right. A grown man afraid of the 12-year-old.
No, he needs to learn respect for his elders.
A grown man that's being bullied by a 12-year-old. Me and Christina laughed our ass off this morning at you together about that.
You coached him the first day I met him to attack me. You coached him to do that first day.
Attack a 12-year-old boy?
To verbally assault me.
A 12-year-old boy verbally assaulted a grown man.
That's correct.
Do you not hear how much...
I don't know
bitch.
I don't know where you come from, but when I was a kid and I talked back, my dad made sure that I was put in line. My dad put me in line when I got smart and I talked back to an elder. Okay? I only did that a couple times, and he took the belt and strapped my ass.
Do you have any idea how pathetic and of a bitch you sound? A 12-year-old boy bullied me.
Discipline your child. That's what it's called.
A 12-year-old boy bullied me. I've been
No, man. Have you ever, when you were a kid and acted up, did you have a belt to your butt? I'm sure you had.
A 12-year-old boy. A 12-year-old boy is bullying me.
Did you ever have did your parents ever discipline you as a kid?
A time or two, yes.
Yes, they disciplined. They took a belt and strapped your ass with it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's what should have been done with him. It's called discipline. It's called tough love. It's called discipline. That's what you do to your kids when they act out. I don't give a damn about Markland. But you just tell Markland, Lowe, reiterate to Markland in closing, is he going to have that same laughter when he owes me money, both monetary and punitive? Is he going to have that same laugh? That's what I want to know.
He's convinced that he'll never pay you.
Well, there's ways of skinning a cat. And believe you me, those ways will be done. So I'll leave you with that. Anyway,
why are you so pathetic?
Why am I what?
Pathetic.
And how am I pathetic?
You just are. You're a pathetic bitch.
No, I don't. Listen to me, man. Everybody, you do unto others as you would have them do unto you. I know you're an atheist. You don't believe in that, do you? You treat people the way that you want.
You are the most pathetic human being on the face of the planet.
And that's based upon what? Where are you basing your discovery on?
Standards of a reasonableness.
No. I treat people the way that I want to be treated. I treat people the way that I want to be treated. I don't disrespect somebody until they disrespect me.
If that were true, you'd be kissing my ass.
Well, but you see, you've done some things that have been questionable.
You know that porch you're sitting on? That's because of me.
Well, but over and beyond that, you've done some questionable.
Nobody else offered to help you. No one.
All right, and you did that, and I compensated you for
Didn't
what you did.
Didn't do a fucking thing for me except berate me.
Because you're talking to Marty McBitch. Talking to Marty McBitch you colluded with him.
I did $1,000 worth of work for you to keep you in that house for free. And you're still at it.
I understand what you did. But in retrospect, you colluded and you start talking to these trolls and making up stories.
All right, listen, I've got to take one Joe or Jerry. Please, tomorrow at 1 o'clock, all right?
I told you that I'll be there at 5. That's what I told you.
And that's fine, but call me at 1 to confirm. I cannot be late. This is a big deal for us.
That's fine. So it's you and Danny and your son, huh?
No, the big bully won't be here, Rich. The big bully's not coming, George. You don't have to hide your lunch money from 12-year-old Mikey.
First of all, you know how silly that is. No, seriously, no. I mean, it's just common decency where because I don't put the total blame on him because you coached him.
You're being bullied. That's right. You're being bullied by a 12-year-old. But that's going to do it. You can argue about this tomorrow.
You coached him to say that. So
legit.
What's that?
I said I have and I will again.
Well, I would rather you didn't do that because it just shows bad parenting. It shows bad parenting on your part when you do that.
All right, I need to take one, Georgia.
All right, do what you will. All right.
300 pounds of elephant dung.
That's what you got, right?
Okay.
Okay, you go ahead and do what you got to do. All right, whatever. I'll talk to you tomorrow. All right, gotta go.
Bye, Georgie.